money holding. Okay, liquidity preference means liquidity money holding in terms of no cash or in terms of assets. Okay, so desire of particularly public to hold the cash. It is nothing but people are holding some amount of money for their future expectations. Okay, so here Keynes supply of money and demand for money, when we are talking about the total quantity of money available for the purpose of any time to spend that money in any time in the country. Supply of money is nothing but circulation of money. Okay, from the public one to another. Okay, so generally the supply curve of money is taken perfectly inelastic. Okay, when we are telling perfectly inelastic, it is straight line, vertical axis to the y axis ఎలా ఉంటుందో దానికి vertical గా ఉంటుంది, straight line. Okay, same as y axis. So the supply of money generally, as I said, it is circulation of money by the public. Okay, it may be kinds, notes, or sometimes we call bank deposits. Okay, these all are the flowing one to another. Okay, so that is supply of money. Demand for money. So demand for money, Keynes kind that liquidity preference by saying the interest rate. Okay, with respect to interest rate. So liquidity preference is nothing but desire to hold cash, as I said. Okay, according to him, particularly, the rate of interest is a premium which has to be offered to induce people to hold wealth in the form of hard-earned money. Generally, it is related to the link to the interest rate. So when the supply of money, okay, circulating among the money, that means too much of money circulating, government has to control that by increasing the interest rate directly or indirectly. People think that if we save in the banks, okay, so they get return, nothing but interest rate will be high. So government, it is controlling the supply of money with the help of interest rate. Okay, so here we have to remember three motives according to Keynes. There are three motives are there. This is very important. Transaction motive 1, precautionary motive, and speculative motive. Okay, why people are holding money? There are various reasons. You can say one is transaction motive, precautionary motive, and speculative motive. These are the three reasons. That is why people are holding cash. Okay, so transaction motive, it is simply we can say that it relates to the demand for money, current transactions of a person or personal day-to-day business exchanges. Transaction motive purpose, we are holding some amount of money. Okay, so that daily activities purpose, people are holding some amount of money. It is called as income motive. Okay, transaction motive we also call it as income motive. So here when we are talking about the expenditure, okay, and receipts of income, comparatively it is very small. The amount of money which is undertaken, particularly transaction motive, it is depends on the level of income. What does it mean? If we are having more income, our consumption, our daily expenditures will be more. So transaction motive directly or indirectly, depending on the level of income. Income is more, transaction motive will be more. That means we are spending more amount. Okay, that is we have to remember. Larger the income turnover also, when we are planning for the business, larger the income, larger the turnover, we can say that. That is related to transaction motive. Okay, and the another one is we can say that precautionary motive. Okay, second one is precautionary motive. Precautionary motive, particularly it relates to desire to provide some amount of money, keeping or holding some amount of money, particularly for unseen conditions. Okay, unseen contingencies or sudden expenditures, we can say that unforeseen opportunities. Okay, for that purpose, people are holding money. Why people are holding? Precautionary motive purpose. For example, we cannot expect when we are going to be, illness, or when we suddenly sometimes accidents maybe occur. That we cannot expect. Sometimes suddenly job opportunities gone away. That means again that fellow become unemployed. Employee become unemployed because due to employment. Okay, so that is also one reason, precautionary motive, people are holding money. So this we call it as, this means illness, maybe accidents, unemployment, unforeseen, okay, contingencies. We all are called as it related to precautionary motive. Okay, sometimes businessman maybe keep their cash to overcome the unfavorable conditions. Okay, to gain or from the unexpected deals, to overcome that situations, this businessman hold some amount of money. Okay, so this is very important. Keynesian general theory of employment, written a book. Okay, we are talking about demand for money. Okay, there are three motives are there. One is transaction motive, second one is precautionary motive. Transaction motive is related to day-to activities purpose. People are holding some amount of money. Okay, and precautionary motive. Precautionary motive, as I said, unforeseen conditions. Suddenly we cannot expect what will happen. So to overcome that situations, people are holding some amount of money. That is related to precautionary motive. Okay, so according to Keynes, transaction motive and precautionary motives are relatively interest rate inelastic. Okay, interest inelastic. That you have to remember. There are three motives are there: transaction, precautionary, speculative. Two related to here interest rate is inelastic, but which are, when we are talking about income, it is elastic. Okay, compared to income, here we are comparing to with respect to interest rate, and another one is income. With when we are comparing with interest, okay, that is inelastic. When we are comparing with income, it is elastic. That according to Cage. Okay, so the amount of money that you hold under these two motives, particularly transactions and precautionary motives. Another important motive is speculative motive. Transaction motive, why I am repeating this is important. Okay, transaction motive, precautionary motive, and another one is speculative motive. Speculative motive related to the hold the resources, particularly liquidity from the when we get opportunities movement. Sometimes it may be related to bonds and securities. Okay, money held under this speculative motive, particularly to store the value. Okay. So generally, when the bond prices and interest rate, there is a inverse relationship you have to remember. Bond and interest rate. Okay. There should be a inverse relationship between these two. A bond generally this bond carries fixed rate of interest. Okay. So one can gain by buying the bonds when they are cheaper with respect to interest rate, because these two are opposite directions. Okay. So people buy the bonds when they they are cheaper compared to interest rate. Okay. When interest rate is high, bond rates are low. So here this speculative motive or speculative demand for money, okay, decreasing with the rate of interest, as you have to remember. So here Keynes expressed this speculative motive demand for money with M2 is a function of rate of interest. What does it mean? That two, money supply or demand for money, transaction motive and speculative for precautionary motive. Demand for money is a function of income. It is depending on income, positive, as I said. For interest rate, it is inelastic, I said. But here, in a speculative motive, demand for money is a function of rate of interest. Okay, that you have to remember. Liquidity trap, it is downward sloping from left to right, but it never touches the x-axis. Slowly comes down and straight to the x-axis, but it never touch. Okay, that you have to remember. And when we are talking about the determination of rate of interest, okay, determination of rate of interest, according to Keynes, the demand for money, that is, as I said, liquidity preference and supply of money determined by the rate of interest. Okay, this liquidity preference particularly for speculative motive along with the quantity of money, okay, which is available and determines the rate of interest. Okay, that you have to remember. So so here we discussed Keynesian liquidity preference theory. Okay, there are, according to him, three motives are there: transaction motive, precautionary motive, and speculative motive. Okay, when we are talking about the another concept, that is modern theory of interest. Okay, modern theory of interest. According to classical theory of interest, which is explained in the rate of interest or interest rate, we can say that with respect to real factors. Okay, with respect to real factors, particularly savings and investment, real savings and real investment. Okay, here it did not include monetary factors, particularly the classical theory. They did not consider the monetary factors because to explaining the interest rate. So neoclassical theory of interest, which explained the interest rate, not only the real factors, as I said, savings and investment. Okay, here, but also the monetary factors also influence. Okay, Keynes explained this monetary factors, particularly interest rate in terms of demand for and supply of money. So liquidity preference, when we talk about, Keynes regarded interest rate as purely monetary phenomenon and ignore the real factors. Ignore the real factors. So here interest rate theory, particularly modern theory of interest. Okay. J.R. Hicks, as a Hansen and a lender, have taken important, elements, particularly for theory of interest, modern theory of interest. Okay, from the uh, classicals and Keynesian views. Okay, so neoclassical theory of interest, particularly, it combined the four elements: loanable funds that respect to interest rate. Okay, so here they did not again succeed with this loanable fund theory and integrate these factors. Okay, uh, this is related to J.R. Hicks theory of interest. Okay, when we are talking about the another concept that is related to theories of factor pricing. Okay, factor pricing, here we can observe meaning, functions and classifications of money, measures of money supply with respect to India. I think this we discussed in last class, M1, M2, M3, M4, we discussed it. This lesson we completed last time. And when we see, look at the other factors, money supply, this we completed. Wait a minute, liquidity preference theory, reserve money and hyper money. Yeah, it's better we go to the first section. That is very important topic. Circular flow of income, that is very important. Methods of measuring national income also important. Yeah. Concept of circular flow of income. Anybody is sending messages? No charts. Everyone, when did the class starts? Any important questions, sir? Last 5 minutes low. The last time which are questions, so last 5 minutes low, I try to give you, important topics. This is also, very important topic. Concepts of circular flow of income. Last time discussed, but again we are discussing it. Okay. So there are, when we are talking about the circular flow of income in two-sector model, one side is household sector, on the other side is business sector. You have to remember household sector and business sector. As we know that when we think about generally households, they are factors of production. Factors of production means for producing the goods, these are the laborers. We can say that. Okay, they are involving in production process, particular goods. Okay, so these business people who are, they are engaging the household sector. Okay, with they are using the household sector. That means they are using the factors of production. Okay, in terms of labor and land capital, okay, these business people are using, and they are paying the wages, the rent and interest rate to them. That means with the help of the labor, they are producing goods and paying the money to the laborers. If these business people are using labor, they are paying wages. If these business people are using land, they are paying rent. If these business people are using their capital, okay, they are paying interest rate. Okay, so this business people are using a household sector, that is factors of production, and paying the amount to them. Okay, these people again, they are getting money. This household sector again, these business people, it is very smart. Again, they are selling to the household sector only. So this household sector, it is required for their daily consumption purpose. So with their earning income, they are again purchasing the goods which are, required. That means again they are paying, in terms of prices, and they are paying and purchasing the goods. They are paying in terms of prices. That income these business people are, collecting. Here, what we have to observe, how the income is circulating among this business and household sector. It is moving from business sector to household sector money, because they are using the factors of production. That is why paying wages, that is why paying rent, that is why paying interest. So moving income to household sector. This household sector, for their consumption purpose, again, they are, you know, uh, purchasing the goods and services from the business sector. Again, this amount flowing from household sector to business sector. This is two sector model. Okay. When we look at the, three sector model, along with these two sectors, household sector and business sector, another sector, going to be add, that is government. Okay. Generally, government, when we add it is no three sector model, household and business sector. Sorry. So here we have to remember, three sector model when we are adding the government sector along with the household and business sector. Here, government, when we are talking about the government, we have to observe, fiscal policy and monetary policy. Here, fiscal policy is nothing but government is imposing taxes on business firms as well as the households, okay, for their net income, okay, direct tax, we can say that. So government is imposing the taxes and collecting the revenue, okay. That means from the business, again, income is circulating or moving from business sector to government through the direct taxes. Okay. So at the same time, when we are talking about the household sector, government imposing the tax, through the direct tax. People, those who are getting more income, government used to impose tax that we call it as net tax payments or direct tax. Direct tax. No, no. So here again, sometimes this government purchases the goods from the business sector. For that, again, government is paying amount to the business sector. They are receiving money from the government. With that amount, again, government is providing some kind of benefits to the household sector without getting any return. Okay, sometimes if the government is spending and for for some schemes which is particularly for the marginal people, okay, they are. So here government is providing some assistance to the household sector. It may be agriculture, or sometimes government provide for farms also. When they are giving incentives to the agriculture sector, okay, that the government is bearing that amount. And also government is providing the like pensions, okay, that government only bearing that amount. So they are providing some assistance to the weaker section people. So here what we have to observe, government getting income from the household sector as well as business sector through the imposing taxes and collecting the revenue. From that revenue again, government is wherever it required, they are providing. So sometimes government uh, households in household sector, government people are there. Okay, government is paying regular salaries to them. Okay, so government only paying to the household sector. At the same time, government wherever it requires the goods, they purchase from the business sector and paying to them. How the income is moving towards the household to government, government to business, business to households. This we call it as three sector model. Okay, this is three sector model, and the another one is four sector model. Another one is foreign sector we are going to include. This is when we talk about the household sector, business sector, and government, we call it as these three, we call it as closed economy. Why? Because within the boundaries, within the country, these transactions, these are moving towards these three: household to business sector to household, household to government, government to household, household business sector to government, government to business sector. This is closed economy. When we add, another sector, we call it as foreign sector. Okay. Now that we call it as four sector model. Okay. Four sector model. So here again, we have to, remember two things: government and foreign. When we exporting the other countries goods and services, we get return. Okay, or we can say that in terms of return, we can say that receipts we will get. Okay, if we import goods, we are paying them, that we call it as payments. Receipts we are getting, okay, and paying, that is payment for the imports. Okay, so here if the government or the business sectors, whatever they produce, if exports are greater than the imports, that is good for the economy. Remember, if exports are more than the imports, that is more better for the entire economy. Or else, if interest imports are more, okay, then the exports, then there is a problematic because there is a uh, disequilibrium in the balance of payments. Okay, disequilibrium in the balance of payments that leads to impact on the economy. So here we have to remember one thing from the foreign sector. When we add, our people, they may work in abroad and they send their money to the country. We call it as remittances, foreign remittances. Okay, if foreign people are working here, again we have to pay them. Okay, that amount again going to the foreign. Okay, we are paying for them. Okay, so here it is called as four sector model. Foreign, just you have to remember imports and exports. If imports are less, that is good sign for the economy because we are importing more less amount of goods and services. If we export more, that is better for the economy. Okay, why? Because if we import more and more commodities, that is important. Okay, the domestic industries, domestic products, there is no demand for that products. Okay, because we are attracted from the foreign goods. Okay, if we utilize or if you consume that foreign commodities through the through importing that particular commodities, existing industries may be going to be shut down because there is no demand for the existing firms production or goods. If there is no demand for that particular good, firms are not going to be produced. Okay, then automatically their income itself comes down. Existing firms going to be shut down. Their employment opportunities become unemployed. Okay, then that is a problematic, big problem. So it is better to increase the demand for our products and we try to export. We try to export more because we get foreign receipts, okay, through the exports only. At the same time, we are providing good assistance to the existing uh, business firms. They are producing goods. There is a huge demand for their products because it creating employment opportunities. They are getting salaries. Through that, they are going to be consumed. Surplus amount they are going to be export to another countries. Okay, this is all about four sector model. It is also a very important topic. One important topic, that is measurement of national income. Just again, we are talking about this because I think it is already completed, this topic. Methods of estimating national income. This is very important. Okay. Generally, when we talk about the what is national income, national income is nothing but the income which is received by a country through the goods and services, particularly over a period of time, that is 1 year. Okay, so how we are calculating our national income is high or how we are calculating our national income is low, which we are including or which may not be included while calculating the national income. Okay, like it is like we are revision. This is okay. Already completed. We are revision. Okay, so there are particularly when we observe estimating national income, there are three methods are there: output method, income method, expenditure method. Three methods, easy topic and important definite question. Okay. There are three methods are there for measuring the national income. First one is output method. Okay. Output, the word itself, it is showing something, output. Total production, we can say that, right? So production method, we also call it as through the output method. Okay. The estimation of national income with the help of the production, the estimation of national income is called as output method or value added method. Value added. Which value we have to be add here means final value. Final value means which is ready for the use. Final goods. Okay. Not intermediary goods. Okay. That we are going to be included in this output method. Final goods and services which is produced within the country during a particular period of time, that is 1 year, we are calculating here with market current prices. Okay, with market prices. Okay, so here this is related to the output method. Okay, in this output method, all the three sectors we have to include. As we know, there are three sectors are there: agriculture sector, industrial sector, and service sector. Okay. So from the primary sector is nothing but secondary uh, agriculture sector. So in this agriculture sector again, divided it into agriculture and agricultural allied sectors. Okay, allied activities like poultry, it may be animal husbandry, fisheries, okay, forest, mining, which all are included in the output method while calculating national income. Okay, that you have to remember. And the another important method is income method. Okay, in this income method, particularly that net income payments which are received by the all the citizens, okay, of a country, particularly over a period of time, that is 1 year. Income received by the factors of production by the way of rents, net wages, net interest rate, and net profits, which all are included in the income method. Okay, which income received in the form of transfer payment, which are we are not included in the income method. Okay, so here we are talking about the income method, the income which is received by the all the citizens of the country, that is related to income method. So when we are writing the income method, national income, laborers are these factors we said, factors of production. The laborers are getting wages or salaries. Okay. When the businessman using the land, people are getting rent. Okay. When these people are giving money to the businessman, particularly as a capital asset, okay, they are getting interest rate. We have to include all these wages, salaries, rent, interest rate, and distributed profits. When the corporations are sometimes farms, group of farms, they may get more profit. That time they distribute equally to the existing entrepreneurs. Okay, so that time that also we are going to be including income method. Okay, and also we have to add undistributed profits by the corporation, depreciation and mixed economy, taxes, net national income. We have to add in national income. Okay. Generally, as we know that for land, they have to pay rent. For labor, wages for capital, interest rate, organization, entrepreneur. Organization is entrepreneur. Okay. So that fellow may get loss or profit. Generally, when we know we are like optimistic, they always think they're going to be get profit. So organization will get profit. That is related to income method. And the another one is expenditure method. Okay, the word itself again it is reflecting expenditure. Expenditure incurred by the society in a particular period of time, particularly for 1 year. When we calculate together, that we get expenditure method. Okay, here we have to remember net domestic investment, government expenditure, and services net foreign investment we are going to be include. Okay, the expenditure incurred on the particularly for final goods and services we call it as national income. Okay, in this expenditure method we are including household sectors expenditure, whatever they are consuming, we are going to be add. Business entrepreneurs, whatever they are getting income, okay, whatever they are spending for producing purpose, that we are going to add. Government also, government expenditure also, we have to include in this method, government expenditure also. And because government spending too much of money for developmental and non-developmental purpose. Okay, uh, so this is all about the uh, methods of measuring national income. And see, I'm going to give you, important topics, important questions, topics from the first unit, that is black one, first unit, importance of macroeconomics. I'm sorry. Yeah, fine. So now I'm giving you important no, questions or topics instead of questions. I'm giving you, important topics. Wait a minute. I'm searching your textbook. Yeah. So here, importance of macroeconomics is very important. Scope of macroeconomics. Okay. Importance and scope of macroeconomics. And the second module, yeah, second module, classical theory of employment. Okay, classical theory of employment in this no theories of employment and Keynesian theory of income and employment. Okay, and a consumption function. Keynes psychological consumption function. These two are very important from the theories of income and employment. Theories of investment and interest rate. Theories of investment and interest rate. In this, Keynesian theory of interest rate, multiplier and accelerator. Multiplier and accelerator, these two are important. And theories of factor pricing. In this, functions of money, classifications of money. These two. Measures of money supply in India. This is for long important. Functions of central bank, that is RBI. Okay. And inflation, types of inflation, causes for inflation, measures to control inflation. This is important. Trade cycle, business trade cycle. This is important. Business trade cycle. This is important. So these are the few questions which are very important for your exam point of view. Is there any doubt you can ask? It may be message or voice you can. So I'm going to be close this session.